Hey guys, Bjemson Darius, aka BJ here from Dear Dad Podcast. Now, when I started this podcast, I wanted a platform where I can record and upload my content very easily. I didn't want to go through any hoops to get my podcast out there. When I did start my podcast, I was on a different platform. But after I was introduced to Anchor not once, not twice, but over 3 times by my close friends, I decided to give Anchor a try. I must say, I absolutely love it. Not only is it easy to use, but I am able to record, edit, post, and publish all my episodes right there on the app or the site. I was able to transfer all my episodes onto Anchor in less than 5 minutes. That, for me, was unbelievable. Oh yeah, here's the best thing of all. It's free. It is free to use. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, but take my word on this. It's true. Using Anchor has definitely made podcasts so easy. Trust me, you'll love it. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to the Dear Dad Podcast. This is the place where we address dad dynamics and discuss personal experiences, stories, and poem submissions to help provide a platform for healing while simultaneously uplifting one another. Let's change the dad narrative all around. Let's go. Let's grow. Hello, you beautiful people. This is Bjemson Darius, aka BJ, and today I have a special guest with me. You know, I'm going to say this every time, only because every guest that I have is special. Honestly, is special. If they're not close to me, I've known them when I was a child. They were in my church. There's people that I pretty much grew up with. And this gentleman, I can definitely say, has been an inspiration to me throughout my life. Honestly, we went to church together, went to convention together. I like his style, I like his swag, I like his fatherhood, I like his dadhood game. Like, he's on point. I'm not gonna steal that away from him, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself to you guys. So, guys, again, this is Mario Charles.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Thank you for the introduction. You know, I'm looking around. I'm like, who is he talking about? Me?
Of course,
I appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you,
man. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of journeys that we went through, a lot of obstacles that we went through as fathers, as individuals, to tell you the truth.
That's right.
And to have you here to tell us your journey, it's, for me, I'm looking forward to it because I love to hear the story. I love to hear the journey that you went through to be able to become the person that you are right now. So let me know, who is Mario Charles?
So Mario Charles is Haitian descent. I was born in Haiti, 1982, migrated to the States at the age of 12. My family is, I guess I would say I come from a large family. I am the youngest of 8. So my father married twice. His first wife died. Second wife was my mother, and he had 2 kids with her, my brother and I. So I have 6 half brother and sister and 1 full brother. But I call them all siblings, brothers. I only have 1 sister, though. She's the oldest, and 7 boys. So you could imagine the dynamics between all of us. So yeah, that's a little bit of Mario Charles. Grew up in New York. That's where me and BJ met. You know, like he said, we've gone to functions and churches together. Got to see his journey as a father and a husband as well. So that's something I'm happy. And when I see, you know, good Black fathers, you know, doing well. So I'm proud of you, brother. You know, I want to say that. So yeah, that's, I don't know if that, I could elaborate more, but we'd be here forever. But that's a little bit about Mario in a nutshell.
That's cool. That's fine. Let's keep it like that way. We have lots more questions to post.
Sure.
But yes, like you said, I mean, you have a huge family, and so do I. I mean, not only immediate, like my extended family, if you've been listening to the podcast, it's huge. I can have an entire episode for a whole year with my family and still have more. You know what I'm saying? That's how big my family is. And we have 2 sides, Million, Darius side, and there's another side. So it's like, it's huge. It's a huge family. So I can understand when you're talking about big families. It's something that I love and I highly encourage if you can. Right. But, you know, that's something similar that we both of us have. So let's dive into your dad. Tell me about your dad.
So my dad, he was, I say was because he passed away 2 years ago, but he was a Baptist minister. Ever since I've known him, I guess. He's was very kind. He was a good man and taught me how to be a man. So if I'm half the man that I am today, is because I had a man like him to kind of watch and grow and learn from. So at the very age of 18, he's pretty much accepted the calling to be, a Christian. And, when I hear stories, because, by the time I got around, he was already, I guess, in his 40s. But when I hear stories about my dad at a young age, my brothers would tell me he was a business owner, owned and operated his own little businesses in Haiti. He had a dry cleaner.
Wow.
And worked for one of the richest people in Haiti, the Syrian company called Accra. I don't know if you ever heard of Accra in Haiti, but worked for those guys. They manufactured goods and had stores and toy stores and all that stuff. But he worked for them and kind of managed some of their properties and all that, and had his own thing going on the side. So by the time I turned 30, I'm like, man, my dad did a whole lot of these things before he got to the age that I am now. And I'm like, man, I'm not even close to where I am or where he was at the time. So, still an inspiration to me, even though he's gone. But, what I take away most is that he, as a man, as a father, as a Haitian man, was never afraid to tell his kids, I love you,
Wow.
To hug us, to share moments with us, and so, I'm not an affectionate person because that's not my love language, but, I still try to be affectionate with my girls, tell them I love them and show them in different ways in their own love languages, because the two of them are different. One is very affectionate as well, and one isn't, probably more like me. So I just try to, pick up on these things and share with them, that I love them as well. So even though they're 3 and 1, I try to do that. So that's my dad in a nutshell.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, I'm only to say is because it get rid of a lot of stigma when you're talking about Haitian men, or you're talking about Haitian parents in general. All of our parents work to death, work to give us the best future that we can. But when you think about Haitian parents or just Haitian culture, you just think about poverty a lot. We don't think about business. You don't think about people, making it out there. You think about more, at least for me, I'm not going to say, hey, buddy, I'm going to say for me, you think about, it's hard for you to just get by, or in order for you to get by, you got to either work for the government. To have your own business in Haiti is something else, So to hear that accomplishment from your dad that he had done, I think for me, it would just give me a better picture of like, what, they were successful men out there in Haiti. And they were doing good things. To not highlight that, it wouldn't do Haiti a justice,
And the funny thing about Haiti is like, what separates, I feel like if my dad was in a country like the US, he would probably be a millionaire, multi-millionaire, because he had so many ideas and that that he had. I mean, I'll just tell you one. If you go to Haiti and you see those people walking around with the sacks, traveling with the colorful sacks, that was my dad's idea.
Wow.
That was his invention, his baby. And I'll tell you the story that my brothers told me. The company he worked for was basically had those big bags that they had things and they were just throwing them away. And he's like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this and added us hand straps to them and sell them to these people? And so he asked for them. He's like, hey, can we get those? And they were like, sure, we throw them away anyway, you can have them.
Wow.
So he had about 300 people sewing handles to these little sacks and little bags, and would sell them for like I think $1 or 50 cents or something like that, some small,
right?
But to people in Haiti, like the Machan,
right.
And he would just sell those things, and after a while, the company got wind of what he was doing, and they wouldn't give it to him anymore. So he asked, "Can I buy from you?" They said no. So they started doing their own thing, and
wow,
they started to do it themselves. So sort of like they cut him out of it, like my brothers to this day are kind of mad at that move that the company did that he worked for. But my dad was such a loyal guy. He's like, yeah, it is what it is.
Right.
That was always this thing, but it wasn't. It's a country that didn't have opportunities like that,
Right.
for a lot of people, unless you have money. But he still found a way to make things work. So that was just an example of just my dad. And he had so many brilliant ideas and inventions. This dude could have, if he had like an engineering degree, he would have had so many patents everywhere because his mind worked like that. Whenever he saw a problem, he just tried to fix it, like through something, So that was my dad.
Yeah, that's a big dream to look up to, I mean, especially for a dad. All of us look up to our dads, no matter
Right.
if they are or they are not in our lives. It's always something that we always look up to. And I have a lot of I can honestly say I have a lot of good memories of my dad about his accomplishments. There's some things that I feel like I would hope and wish that he was better at, but I can't take that back. That was his journey. That was his ordeal that he had to deal with. And I'm not going to go back into I wish I could have, should have. No, I'm just saying, okay, he did that. At least he was there. I was still able to see him. Would you be able to elaborate on some memories you have of your dad?
Right. Absolutely. I remember my dad always wanted to take us to the beach. Now, we lived in Port-au-Prince, of course, and it was further away from the beach. But, when he would feel like it or when he saw fit, he'd be like, all right, guys, let's go to the beach. Or I would say, let's go to the beach today. And he'd be like, okay, let's go to the beach. So he would just take us all to the beach and bring us there. And my dad always drove a pickup truck. So in Haiti, if you know anything about people with pickup trucks, people get hitchhike, places. My dad was known, and they see him like, hey, pastor, like just calling him pastor, give us a ride. And he would just stop, give people a ride, and be like, okay, that's it. People just knock on the window whenever they were ready to go or stop. And it was almost like free taxi, and every morning people would just line up in front of our house for him to take them downtown to Haiti. It's like a free ride. So
Right.
Those are some of the memories I remember of my dad. He was always giving of his time or his money sometimes to people who didn't have. And I was reminiscing about with my wife the other day because my father-in-law was just here. He kind of reminded me of my dad, old Haitian men, like he wanted me to take him everywhere, pretty much like to go buy gifts to give to people. I'm like, man, I was like, old Mario would have been annoyed because I'm going around because I have a lot of work to do. I'm going around, but having lost my father, I'm just like, you know what? You don't have these people, these men in your life for too long. So absolutely. I don't take it for granted anymore. I'm just like, whatever, man, let's stop. Let's stop where you want me to stop. We can go get your maps because he's into maps. We can go get your keychains and your stuff for people. And so my dad was somebody like that. He would have me drive. He would never tell me the trajectory where he's going. He'd just say, go there. And then it's like, oh, go there. But if he had told me where you were going, we could have stopped there, right. Instead of going from A, Z, B, Y, you know what I'm saying? So that was my dad. So I remember these things, and that warms up my heart because Haiti lost somebody that, that would always bring balls to little kids playing on the streets.
Right.
Whenever he came to the States, he would like pack a suitcase full of balls and toys and different things. He would just walk around, drive around. He just stop somewhere and just throw a ball to a kid and just keep it moving.
Wow.
And that was my dad.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. To have people like that in your life, and what to call somebody like that your dad. Mm-hmm. I think it's a proud moment. I can honestly say it's a very, very proud moment. And
absolutely.
I know before you were mentioning how your dad, one, as far as his accomplishment and the things that he does, and like you say, the sacrifice that he made for the people in the family and in the community, which is amazing, which is really, really cool. Those are great characteristics that a person should have and could have. Do you feel like you have those characteristics, and do you find it's in your daughters?
Okay, so for my daughters, it's a little bit too soon to tell.
Okay.
I think, I would hope that they kind of see it in me. I think I try to live a life of service to my community and try to serve others that can't, that don't have a voice, so I try to do that the best of my abilities. And so I would hope that in seeing that in me, or me and my wife, that they are also motivated and activated to do that as they get older. So a little bit too soon to tell for them, but for us, me and my wife, or me personally, because this is about me, I guess. I try to model the things that I see my father do. Because like you said earlier, they're not perfect.
Right.
There are certain things that they've done. Just they didn't really have a manual, just like we didn't have a manual or to be parents. But as there's a saying, as you know better, you do better.
Right.
And so knowing better, knowing that even though my parents didn't have parenting books to learn how to be a parent, they still did a good job. I think they did the best of that they could. And so my job is to just continue to build upon what they've done and do the best I can, and utilize resources like books and different things, different techniques to be the best Mario that I can be.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I adore that. My father is here right now. He is, I have the privilege, I can say, of him still being alive. Right. And all of us have that in our hands. And I was also talking to my cousin a couple episodes back. We share the same grandmother, right? So his dad and my dad were siblings. He's no longer here. My uncle's no longer here, right? And now a couple of them are having trouble adapting. They're having trouble with certain questions that they want to have. Like, Dad, why weren't you being able to do certain things? Why weren't you here? Why did this happen and you allow it to happen? Why am I the way I am? All this question that you have in your head and you want to pose and you can't because the person is no longer here. Right. It's hard for you to just like find an answer when you don't have a person to get that answer to. So right. I spoke to them and they have a lot of questions they want to ask and stuff they want to do. But if you had the chance right now and your daddy was sitting next to you, or at any opportunity that you had, if your dad was alive right now, you wanted to send him a message, if he was sitting next to you right now and you wanted to tell him something, what would it be?
I've thought about that a whole lot, and to be honest, it hasn't dawned on me because, like I wasn't a father at the time, like I have so many questions now that I'm a father, like, especially like how I was as a baby, because I want to know how that relates, how I was and how my daughters are, right. If that was similar, how did you go about raising us? Like those certain questions are very pertinent. How there's a whole bunch of questions I got to ask my dad. Like how did you make it? Like how did you achieve success in life? Because I felt like, he was always a driven guy. Like I feel like because of he could have been more successful if he was here, but he was always driven to do the best because of us, and that's what I'm taking out of it. Now, because I'm a father and I have daughters that I have to provide for, it pushes me and pushes me even harder to be successful. And success right. is different for everybody. I'm not trying to be a millionaire, but I want to be able to provide a good life for my children. So, so those questions are like how I was as a baby, were there similarities between me and the girls now? How did you raise a daughter? Because he has one daughter and she was the queen, so yeah, those are questions I have, but I get the cool thing is because my siblings are a little bit older than me. They're like 20, 30 years older than I am. So the cool thing is I could always talk to them and I feel like I would get an accurate answer that my father would also approve of, because they knew my father a little bit more than I did, because they clearly had him around longer and they had him around at his prime. So okay. I feel like I would get a good answer from them as well. So it's not like it's completely gone, but I just have to dig deeper and ask all my other siblings.
Right. And how was the dynamic between you and your dad?
So because I was the baby, people think I was like the favorite, but my sister was the favorite. She's the oldest and she was the favorite, period. Right. I might have been second, Don't tell my brothers. Dynamic was cool, man. We got along fine. Whenever he was here, like I said, I was a chauffeur. A lot of surgeries, a lot of doctor's appointments. That was me always bringing them. So we had a lot of time to talk. So there was no animosity between me and my dad. Right. I loved him. He loved me, and that's the way I choose to remember it.
Super, 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 super. All right, so let's change the dynamic a little bit. Let's actually directly towards you now.
Okay.
So tell me about dadhood.
Dadhood is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I was expecting it. It wasn't a surprise. Me and my wife, we talked about it, and then we got pregnant, Right. So, but nothing really gets you ready for dadhood until that baby is in your hands. I have to say, when my oldest was born, Leilani, man, I was crying. And I wasn't crying because, she was a girl or because I was disappointed. I was just crying because I knew that at that moment that any and every desires I had were gone. I was almost like mourning everything else because I know that this girl was just going to be everything, and she just meant everything the moment that she was born. And every time I looked at her, for the first 2 days, every time I looked at her, tears were rolling out my eyes.
Right.
And those were those tears. That was the reason because of those tears. So I have to say, man, I embrace fatherhood, with both hands. I literally just go in there and then look back. I haven't looked back. I just do what I can, the best I can. Even if I don't know how to, I will look a video up. I will find something to make sure it happens for my girls. And so that's how I embraced and I take on dadhood.
Okay, let's take a brief commercial break. Like you said about your dad, you wanted to ask him, like, how did you manage? How did you manage to stay positive? How did you manage to be such a empowering person, motivating person, still working and still take care of, your siblings, right? It's powerful because not everybody gets to experience that. Right. Not everybody gets to experience that. And how he was able to manage all these things and be a father and stuff. Even you thinking back right now, before you even become a dad, did you have any inkling or do you have any perspective or any idea of what kind of dad you wanted to be before you became a dad? And if you are, do you think you're that person now?
Now, to think about the kind of father I was going to be was not on the top of my head because I guess, okay, to think about the kind of father I wanted to be, I think that started maybe, when you're a kid, you like, when I grow up and I have kids, I'm never going to treat them like that. I don't know. After you get a beating, I'm never going to treat my kids like this. I had an idea of what I wanted to be when I was a father, but, come to find out when you're a father, that all goes out the window because now you're in charge. Mm-hmm. You can't give that kid back to somebody, because previously, when you're not a kid, you find somebody's kid, you rile them up for a little bit, then you give them back and bye. That kid is already charged up and letting that parent have it, and you're just like gone. But now that it's you, it's like everything's on you. You're thinking about a million things. You're thinking about, man, this person gonna fall. This kid is gonna fall here. Is that's gonna happen here? Is this kid breathing while they're sleeping? Is this happening? You're thinking about a million things to keep that kid, the baby, safe. And so, I don't know what I thought, or I don't know what anybody thought about being parenthood, but nothing gets you ready for being a father than being a father. Mm-hmm. So if that's something you take seriously, then it's, then you're going to excel at it because you will actually put 110% towards it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I would say. I wasn't ready like I thought I would be, but you know what? Having had good examples in my life, gave me the confidence to, take it head on and kind of succeed. I don't know if I'm succeeding. I guess I'll have to wait for my daughters to be old enough to say, you did a good job, Dad.
Well done. Well done. And there is no guideline. There's no book for you to read that's going to tell you this is how a dad needs to be. This is how you should be. There's no guidelines. It's pretty much you're thrown in and you had to figure your way out. But in that process, you learn so much and you grow so much each and every day. There's not a day that goes by here that I am not growing and I'm not learning something from my son. Every day that he grows, every week, I can say, and I told my wife that just a few days ago, I can monitor his progress. I can monitor the stuff that he's doing and how much he's excelling at these things. And I used to think, even today I say, I was like, and I was your age, just 3 years old now. I was like, when I was your age, I was never this smart. Right. I was never able to grasp onto certain things that you grab onto. I was never able to like remember some of the stuff that you're doing right now, hold a conversation that you're doing right now. And it's so captivating. It's so amazing to just see the growth in them. It's such a beautiful thing.
It is. Funny you say that because my daughter is counting to 100. I'm like, I don't know if I could count to 100 when I was at 3.5. You know, like I don't remember being able to count. She's counting 100. She's holding full conversations.
Right.
And I made a point not to baby talk her. You know, like the parents, oh, you cute, you blah 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 blah. I mean, like you ain't gonna learn how to talk when you're talking cutesy language to these kids. I talk regular to these girls, man.
Right.
And so my second one, Malia, she's about 1.5 years, 18 months old. She's about to be 1 pretty soon. And she's having full conversations, full understanding. She could understand directions, more than 2 steps direction she can get. And she understands how to manipulate really, really well too. So that's something we got to watch out for. But it's amazing to, like you said, to watch them grow, man. That's the biggest, to me, that's the biggest win throughout the day. Like when I see things like my daughter learning, you know, I taught her because she was counting. She was literally counting. She knew how to count. She was counting like she'd get to 27, 28, 29, 2010. I'm like, no, it's not 2010. It's 30. You know, I was like, okay, right. 30. And she'd get to 31, 32, and she'd get to 39, 30, 10. I'm like, no, that's 40. And I taught her each of those things, like 40s, the 50s, the 60s, 70, and she grasped and remembered all that. And now she's counting to 100. I'm like, I was floored. And I taught her that in like 2 days. I'm like,
right.
I can't believe it. You know,
right. It's the progress and how quick they grab onto something, they grasp onto stuff. That's kind of amazing. Because you think about yourself right now, like if you're learning something, you're like, okay, I need the book. I need to read it. Then I'm going to apply it. And then I want to try a couple of times, and then it may be a stick. And still I have to have the guide so I can see if I'm doing it right.
Exactly.
You know, you think about yourself right now and it's like, what? At his age, I was still probably eating my boogers. I was still like trying to like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out who I am. Exactly. But I feel like he has such an amazing vocabulary. He's able to read things all over. He have subtitles. Able to read at 3 years old. So he's been doing this since he was like, you know, before 1 year old. He's able to distinguish these things, shapes, colors, numbers, all that stuff.
That's awesome.
So it's amazing. So now we're just trying to keep up with them, and it's just a beautiful thing. And like you said before, just teaching him something, and how fast he grabs onto it. I did just 2 days ago, and I usually try to like see how long it takes him to grab onto certain things. I told him this thing one day. I was just like, okay, this thing we just say actually just 2 days ago. It just came up to me. I was just like, okay, say, I'm smart, I'm strong, and with God, I can do anything, right? And I repeating it all over again. At first, he was not even like saying it, and then he started repeating it from me. So what I got from him was that, you know, since he was an infant, he would take it, he'd process it, and then he would sleep overnight. The next day, he will regurgitate that to you, and that's exactly what he did. So he was repeating it slowly. And I know he got it, but literally the next day, he's singing the song that I taught him a day later. Wow. And this is like random. Like he was just like walking around. I'm strong. I'm smart. With God, I can do everything. I was like, oh, you got it. Like, you got it. You got it. That's an amazing, that's a beautiful thing. Just to see the progress.
People without kids can't understand this.
No.
This sort of happiness, man.
No.
And that's the state of mind that we're at. We're just talking about our kids now, you know. Like we're grown men with kids. We talk about our kids all the time. People without kids are like, oh, here he goes again.
They don't understand.
And that's why you can't have single friends out here.
But it's a growth. It's a growth. You know, when it was you and your girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different stage. When you guys are married, it's a different stage. When you
That's
got
right.
pregnant and have a child, it's a different stage. When you have 2 kids, it's a different stage. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So it's a development. You have to grow as your life grows, as your marriage grows, as your family grows. If you don't grow, you're only gonna stay stagnant. If you're staying stagnant, growth is necessary. It's needed.
It is
definitely needed. So, like I said before, some things that if you knew what kind of dad you wanted to be, but I also wanted to find out, before becoming a dad, was there anything that you wish you had done differently?
I wish I would have gotten out all my goals. Not that I wasn't financially ready, but I wish I would have had a little bit more time to enjoy my wife.
Okay.
My wife's a doctor. She was in residency when we got pregnant with Leilani, our first one. So I wish we had traveled a little bit more. At that time, funds were a little tight because when you're in residency, you're not getting money. You're not making money, real money at least, as a doctor. So funds were tight. So we just didn't get that chance to enjoy, being, financially, I wouldn't say being a little bit more financially free, right, without having a child. But by the time she came around, we had to tighten up even more. Like all the funds go to her. Like if I need to spend something, it's just like a little bit more tight.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to spending on our girls,
right,
there is nothing. We just spend freely, forget the budget. So that's what I wish I would have done, and I wish I would have pursued the things I wanted to pursue before they came around. So right now, actually next week, I go back to school to be a web developer. So that's always been something I've been interested in, but just never got around to doing.
Right.
So gonna be starting that next week. Probably gonna be a little hard because I'm 37 years old and going back to school and learning a whole new language. But just wish I would have done that before all this.
Like I said, there's no guidelines. There's no guidelines to any fatherhood, life. None. You just gotta take it and just like move, and that's just continue just like progressing, continue moving up the ladder of your education. Just bettering yourself, for not only for your wife but for your children, for yourself too. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have to be happy in order for everybody else to be happy. Because if you don't, it will literally comes out other places. That's why I always encourage making time for yourself, where you're able to breathe, either go out, go to dinner, whatever it is, as long as you have time for yourself. Right now I'm in Atlanta, and my cousin is here, and he took me out one day, and I felt like I was like like it was a first date. I was just like, oh, this is so cool, like I haven't done this in a long time. And he just like, wow, bro, it's okay, like I got you. And it felt so good because I was able to get out the house, because I'm home, I work from home, and I take care of my son. So when I have time to breathe, when I have time to just like see the world, it's so relaxing, it's so refreshing, right. It's so great. Even now I start to do it, going back to the process of running again. So now again, that's therapeutic. So when my wife gets home, I was like, give me like 2 hours please on the day, so I can go out, run, detox, right? So I could come back, regenerate myself, so I can like be okay for everybody, because you need that time for yourself.
That's so important. That's so important, man. Yeah. To have time for yourself, because I've been watching the girls since COVID started. We just put them back in daycare maybe like a month ago, but for at least 4 months, and I found myself needing a little bit of time for myself. So there was 2 hours during the day when they went down for nap time. We called it nap time, quiet time, daddy time. My oldest knew it. It was like, okay, after lunch, it's nap time. They would repeat it: nap time, quiet time, daddy time. And daddy time, what did daddy do? Just play Call of Duty. Because I couldn't go out anywhere.
Right.
They decided to play Call of Duty with some other fathers I knew, and shoot a couple of people for, I make it sound so gory, but just shoot the breeze, and after that I felt a little bit more like myself, and was able to take on the day, or the rest of the day with them. And so that was it. You got to find something that brings you joy to do.
Right.
So that's very important, man.
It's a mental health detox. You got to detox yourself, detox
That's
your
it.
brain, because once you're used to that same routine, you tend to just like lose yourself, and years pass by, and it was like, oh, what did I do? All I did was cater to the kids, and now you have regrets, and he was like, I wish I could, and you have a midlife crisis.
Oh my God!
I don't have time for that. I'm enjoying my moment with my son. I'm enjoying my moment with my wife.
Right.
I if I can get a time to just like send him to his cousin's house, my cousin's house, for a day or two, for my wife can have the time, or we can have our time to ourselves, we do that. Every time that we spend alone or together is cherished. It's never like, oh, I wish I could. No, like I adore spending time with my son, and I love spending time with my wife, and I also like absolutely look forward to spending time with my family. We have family time, we have family hugs, we have families, all that stuff. I love it, and it's good to have that time to yourself, and it's also good to have that time with your significant other and your kids. So I highly encourage that.
Absolutely.
So describe to me 3 happy moments of being a dad.
3 happy moments. I think one I mentioned already. Being able to sort of explain something to your kids and actually watch them learn it and grasp it and regurgitate it back to you. That's just a very happy moment, in itself. That's one of the happiest things. I would say a second happy moment is when you come home or you pick them up from daycare and you see the joys in their faces when they see Daddy. Like it's somebody they hadn't seen all day, which is true. They hadn't seen me all day. But, that they actually care enough for me to cry. I was in the mindset that, mom is the favorite, and that's okay because they love their mommies, obviously they should love their mommies, but I think I'm like second in the totem pole, but it's good to see that they also care about me. So that's a second moment. So 3 just would be just seeing them smile, man, like because even though there's COVID and they can't go anywhere, they are, fortunately they don't know any better, so little things like walking outside and watching their favorite CoComelon show.
CoComelon. Oh, that's a drug.
That is literally a drug. Watching Baby Shark and seeing their little smiling faces, man, that melts me every time, man. So it doesn't matter how tough of a man you are, you see your kids smile. That's my job. I don't care what it is, as long as they're smiling, that they're happy, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So people always say so I'll say it's you have one now, so a son. It's difficult to go from 1 to 2 because all that attention that you're pointing to your son now, you can imagine you have to split that, once you have another one. So that's pretty much what's happening to us now. Leilani, she got all of our attention, both parents' attention by herself when she was born, and she had to kind of split that when Malia came around. So it was a learning curve, and I'm the mindset of like I'm gonna give joy and punishment to both so that one doesn't feel left out. So right now they're sleeping in the same room, and sometimes one is making more noise. I go in there, I chastise both of them. Like you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. So the other one doesn't feel like you're always picking on me. So everybody's getting the same equal treatment. So so that's, I don't know what it feels like to raise a boy. Maybe if I'm lucky, God will bless me with a son, but I'm okay if he doesn't either. So
right.
So I can't say like it's what the difference is other than body parts. I see other parents who raise sons, like I feel like boys are a little bit more headstrong and more brave doing different things. But my daughter, my youngest, seems to be very brave as well. She can do whatever she wants in certain times. So yeah,
absolutely. Hey, boy. Doesn't fail. Yeah. So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper now, just more into your consciousness, into
Sure.
from thinking about the experience that you had as a dad, your father personally, and moving towards the future with your daughters. How do you want your daughters to remember you?
I want them to remember me as somebody who loved them unconditionally. And so, yeah, it's plain and simple as that. I can't even elaborate on what that looks like. I will do anything and everything to make sure they know they are loved, to make sure they know what healthy love looks like. Because you could say you love somebody, but you just don't love them in a healthy manner.
Right.
That if they can recognize healthy love, then when they grow up and hopefully find somebody, to spend their lives with, that they can find something that's healthy love as well. I want to be the model of healthy love household, so that's pretty much it.
Cool. All right, so we're just about to wrap up. I'm going to leave you alone. Let you go. Enjoy your moments.
Right.
So I have literally one last question for you, and this is towards the dads, the fathers, the father figures out there that are doing their job, that needs to do their job, or that need some advice. So before leaving, what kind of message do you want to leave with the dads out there?
I want them to know that there is no manual on how to raise your child, because each child is different, but if you put in the time to getting to know your kid, you can pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? Customize a style of teaching and of raising that's catered to your specific child. And so taking the time to know your kid and to know how they learn and what ticks them off or what makes them happy is the best thing that you could do. So that's my message to fathers out there, and the fathers that are going to be fathers. I would say it's nothing I could say can get you ready to be a father. I've said that before, but I'll repeat it again. Nothing that anybody says can get you ready to be a father until that kid comes out and you're holding it in your arms. And so you got to figure out what that is for you. You can read all the books you can. You can listen to all the advice you can and take them all in with a grain of salt, because once that kid comes, it may not apply to you. And so you can apply the good, and you could throw away the bad. And so be ready for your life to be changed, and be ready to change that kid's life, and be ready for that kid to change the world based on what you teach them or what you don't teach them.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I wanted to have you on this podcast or this episode because I know there was a story to tell. I know there was a journey to tell, because all of us have our own journeys as a dad, and getting there, it's exciting. If you want it to be exciting, some of us are dads because we may not wanted or wasn't planning to, but I think the joy of having a child in your life can change your whole demeanor. It can change your whole personality. It can make you become a better person, because now you're not thinking about yourself. You think about other people. And like you said before, and I said, there is no guidelines to becoming a great dad or to becoming a dad itself. You really can't. I can sit there and tell you, this is my personal journey, and you can tell me this is your personal journey. But with somebody else that's sitting right next to me, it can be something completely different. Again, it's how you absorb it, it's how you take it, and what you want out of it. Dadhood is a personal journey. You have to know what you want out of it. You have to know that you can do better and be better, but you have to want that for yourself. And I always said that to a lot of people, where even if even if something you're not planning, even though something you did not want at first, once you embrace the journey of being a dad, it is an amazing feeling. It's like falling in love all over again.
Exactly.
My cousin said that it's like being born again.
Right.
Because you're not the same person that you were before. You are something better, because now it's not about self anymore. It's about taking care of somebody else. You have to get up
and feed that person. You have to get up, make sure that person's still alive, is still breathing, that they're able to walk, they're able to, clothe. All that stuff is 100% on you. And for me, I look forward to that at all times. I'm not saying it's not exhausting. I'm not saying it's not tiring. But because I want to invest in that, I want to become a better dad for him. Every day is a journey, and every day is something that I look forward to, and I love it. And I encourage all of you guys. I know you said, your dad was a person that was high accomplished. He's always sacrifices himself, and I feel like to a point you do it as well. The reason why I wanted you to be on this podcast is because even growing up as friends, I saw the potential in you. I saw what kind of man you could be and will be, because you are that person now. I know I said, you do think you're that person? I know I saw good potentials in you. I saw good behaviors in you. I saw good characteristics in you, not only from your dad, but from yourself, that I'm seeing from outside looking in. And I wanted you to be part of my journey in this podcast, because
thank you.
Your story is needed. Your journey is needed. And I applaud you for being a dad. I applaud you for being a wonderful human. And I applaud you for being for taking step in this. It's not easy. There's no guideline to being a dad, but you're doing it. You're taking it. You're taking the steps. And I want to tell you, you are being amazing and a great, great example for a lot of us out there. Before I became a dad, I saw you being a dad, and I took a lot of pointers from you. Granted, I have a son, you have daughters. It's still the same journey. And I can honestly say, I watch it through Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, and in person, and the stuff that you're doing. And I love what you're doing, and I will continue incorporating, and I continue investing in that. So I encourage anybody else that's out there, find someone that you see that's doing it right, and enjoy being a father, and mimic that, and incorporate that in your life, and interpret it your own way. But find a person that's encouraging, that's doing it right, that's enjoy being a dad, and try to incorporate that in your life. It's just as easy as that. And again, I want to just thank you, man. Honestly, thank you for this talk. Thank you for this conversation. It's been a while since we've talked, but we didn't lose any track. And I absolutely love what you're doing. Continue doing what you're doing, and I love it, man. I really, really, really do.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on the podcast. And I also enjoy what you're doing as well, man. So keep up the good work. Let me know how I can help, if there's anything I could do, and enjoy watching your son grow and being as smart as he can as well. So you're doing a good thing for the community, and don't think that even if nobody notices, man, like a lot of the stuff you're learning, you're also instilling into your son. Somebody's watching you, but they may not say anything, but somebody's watching. So keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate the words. All right, guys. So I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I'm not going to keep you longer at all. And I want to thank again my guest, Mario Charles, for coming through, telling us his journey. We love it. We encourage it. Be a wonderful dad. Be a great dad. Do the best that you can be. Be a better version of yourself at all times. All right, guys. So again, I won't keep you guys any longer. I'll catch you in a few. Bye. For more Dear Dad podcasts, visit Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Make sure you check Dear Dad Podcast on your favorite Instagram social media platform at Dear Dad Podcast. Catch you later.